All right, I have no idea what the hell's going on here. No. Let me know if anyone. I just uploaded all this software. I got no idea. Is this on YouTube? God. This is a huge pain in the ass. So, if anyone has any questions, I gotta call my wife here real quick because she's about to come in the front door here, so no one needs to see it, and I'll just wait. Hey, you saw Mr. Ballin. That dude's an amazing storyteller. No doubt. Hey, Big Mama? Hey, go in through the garage because I think I might have fixed something here, okay? I'm going to try. I'm just going to see what I can do. Okay? It's on right now. You're on fucking streaming right now. Yeah. All right, bye-bye. All right. I probably should have taken a piss before I did this. There's another one, Andres Guzman Ballin, who does a pretty good job. It's, oh my God, check it out. It's That Chapter. Check out That Chapter. I think I don't know if he's as good as Mr. Ballin, but just in a different style. And I love his, he seems like a very happy-go-lucky kind of guy. Really good. And then the third one, I think, Andres, is Coffee House Crime. I think he does a pretty good job too. But I think That Chapter and Mr. Ballin are probably at the top. I'm sure there's others too. But anyway, oh my God. You guys should have seen the language and the frustration trying to do this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. So if anyone has any questions, if not, we'll just hang out and we can talk about, I don't know. What was the... Oh, just waiting. So, there was something I wanted to... Oh, I was at 212 today. I walked, I think, 8 miles with my 20-pound Go Ruck. I just bought a Go Ruck thing, just 20 pounds. I did that yesterday, climbed about 60 flights of stairs with that thing on, and did 100 pull-ups, and I was fucking tired. So, Bill Coyne, I have not read Blood Meridian. Who is it, Cormac McCarthy? Is that who? Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but that's been on the list of stuff. I have not been reading a ton of new stuff other than like some war things. But yeah, I'll check out that. I know he wrote, I believe, The Road, which I don't know. I know a movie was made on it, and it's just tough to see as a father because I know it has to do with a father and a son, and I'm not sure. I'm sure it's a great movie. I just, I gotta limit the depressing stuff that I am part of. So, hey, is the sound coming okay? Melville level novel. Speaking of Melville, we watched the Under the Sea. It's got the guy from Thor in it. Not a very good movie. But whatever. I just can't imagine how many whales there used to be in our ocean before we used it as energy. Whale blubber fat. So thank you, Bill. I appreciate you. Let's see. I know there's going to be very low level of things, so we're just going to hang out for a little bit, and then hopefully I can start figuring out how to schedule all these things. So I'm not quite sure how to do that, but we will give it a go, as they say in That Chapter. The most important thing that I learned, I don't know if anyone knows this, but my back's been bothering me, and it's been, up and down, but it's really been down, like in a bad way. I haven't really talked about this much. I'll probably delete this live stream, so if anyone's watching, take it from what it will, but I adjusted the diet, and I thought originally that the diet was, or the elimination of foods may have done it, but I think it's more of a body weight thing. Once I dropped down under 215, it's almost I'm a completely different human. I'm able to do a lot of stuff. I'm obviously not going to squat 1,000,000 pounds or anything like that, but being able to walk has been very tough for me. And now I keep my weight. I was, like I said, 212 this morning. But what a difference. So to reference this is when I was in college, when I got really big in college playing football, I was like 250, 255. I had horrible shin splints. I mean, horrible. I couldn't even do anything. And I lost a ton of weight, and I noticed that I had if I was 228 or above 228, my shins would immediately start hurting. It almost got to the point where I could just run and see how I felt. And if I knew if my shins were kind of achy, I was over 228. So that seems to be the prime spot for me, at least back in the day, for my shin splints. Mm-hmm. The fact is, I think 215 is the where I need to be at or under for my back to feel good. I'm not saying that's going to be the right thing for everyone, but boy, does it make a difference. So anyway, if anyone's, just let me know if the feed is coming in well. I don't even know, where am I? And again, you don't have to ask any questions. I'm not asking. Listen, this whole situation, I feel like I kind of screwed a lot of you guys out of, I don't know, not like I'm screwed you guys a lot out of some time that you guys have taken out of your day to watch this. So let's see. I'm just going to sit here and talk to myself for a little bit. Bill asks, were you able to retain your speed when you got to 250? Hell no. Bill, I don't know how familiar you are, excuse me, with some of the stuff I've written over the past 6 months or 12 months or whatever. Anyway, Bill, the point being is, and I hope you understand this, when I was growing up, I always wanted to be that big, tough running back because I was not going to be the big fast or the fast guy. So I saw all those big backs in the NFL and in college, and I thought I needed to be about 250. The point is, I am not built like an NFL football player. I'm built like what I call average dude. And I got so wrapped up in trying to weigh a certain amount instead of just maintaining my abilities and letting my weight fall wherever that may be. And that led me to what I call the average guy ratio based on your height. So if you're, 6 foot, there's a ratio of weight that I think is about where the average dude who needs to be awesome in the, strength wise and needs to be in the top condition. So no, I was not able to maintain 250 simply because my body can't hold that kind of weight because I was what I call just the average dude. And I think people like myself and many of you guys need to understand that you can't look to the freaks as you can look to them, as inspiration, but not for body type or what you should weigh. You need to weigh a certain amount because you're average. I know that sounds, I don't want to sound like I am saying you can't be great as an average person. You definitely can be, but don't follow the body types of the freaks. It's just not smart, okay? And boy, what's funny, Bill, is I usually played around, 225, 230 in that area, generally speaking. So whatever, 228. But my last game, I was 219, 220. I remember stepping on the scale. This was, a little bit after the game, but that's about what I was. Bill, I felt awesome at that, and I should have maintained about 215 or so at the most. I really think that I could have been in better shape, and I probably would have felt better. I would have ran faster. And what's the hell's the difference between 215 and 230? 15 pounds. If I can get a half step faster, I'll be way better. So anyway, I can go on and on about it. I've written a lot about this on the forum. And I think that needs to be pushed into most kids' brains is stop trying to look like an NFL player and be the best fucking version of an average human being that you are, that you can. Lynch says, hey, Jim, I just wanted to say thank you. I've been the strength and conditioning coach at a high school for about 1 year now, using 5-through-1. The progress the kids made is amazing to see, isn't it? You know, as awesome it is to win a lot of those games and having our kids get stronger and stuff. And not just the kids who excel on the field. It's always the kids that come in that maybe don't have any physical background, and watching them transform. It's unbelievable. So it works on both levels. And we had a brutal prowler workout yesterday. And I actually got on the kids for moping around a little bit, but they responded and did a tremendous job. So super proud of our kids, and I'm sure you are too, Lynch. So thank you for sending that. Adam Jones says, happy Easter. If training first thing in the morning, what is best to eat pre-workout, or is it okay to wait until post? Adam, this is going to be widely, I don't know exactly what you mean first thing in the morning, but I will say this. I try to train early in the morning, but that's not the first thing I do when I wake up. That is 100% for sure. I will only eat if I have to. And if I eat, it's going to be something incredibly small that doesn't bloat my stomach. So I don't eat any carbs, and I don't have any fruit, which is carbs, I know, but you understand what I'm saying. So if I'm going to eat anything, it's going to be, you can make some noise, buddy. It's not a big deal, okay? It really, the couple things that I liked was just a couple pieces of bacon, or maybe a couple bites of steak, anything just to make my stomach feel a little like I've eaten something. But to me, I cannot eat anything big, and I cannot eat anything that's gonna make me feel bloated, so to speak. So if you can train without eating, that's fine. And I think also, Adam, it depends on what you're doing. If you're just kind of working out and having a good time, I don't think you don't really need to be too concerned about that. But I do think if I was gonna go do a heavy deadlift workout, I'd rather wake up 30 minutes early and make sure I have something in my stomach to give me some energy, and from there lift. But if I'm just going for a 3 to 5 mile weight vest walk, it's not a big deal. I don't need all that food, so to speak. Here we go. We got heavyweight day 2 times 2. He says, sorry, Jim, I just woke up getting some coffee in me, and I'll have a good question. Now I can think about, right now he has a bowel movement waiting for all of us. Well, good luck. Don't bear down too hard. My wife just heard that. Andres Guzman says, when you're doing prowlers for a mile, are you literally pushing the whole time, or pushing 400 meters, taking a rest, then repeat 3 times? No. What I do, Andres, is it depends on the weight and stuff, and it depends on how obviously the sticky the street is, because it'll vary from day to day. So the goal is just to push it for a half mile or mile. And so what I usually do is I'll count out 50 steps approximately. So it's anywhere usually between 50 and 65, if I'm going to be honest. I just push 1, 2, 3, count to 50 obviously, and then I take a break, usually a minute or so, and then I just keep on doing that the entire way. So I'm not continuously pushing. Now my wife has done a half mile continuously. It wasn't terribly heavy, but it'll actually smoke your legs, and actually, because you're holding on, your shoulders and upper back get tired too. So no, it's just repeated 50 step pushes. Now if you're going super heavy, like myself and Rhodes did a mile with 345s on each side, I mean, you're pushing a lot of times maybe 25, 35 steps. One of the first parts of our half mile loop is up a hill, and that gets fucking miserable. So a lot of times you're just barely moving that thing. So I hope that answers your question, Andres. HH. He says, hey Jim, during summers my job is intensive field work, typically hiking 7 to 9 miles per day. Any variation of your lifts I should run so I don't end up in recovery hell? If I were you, HH, this is what I would do. My lifting would be primarily upper body and primarily higher kind of rep, just kind of building muscle. That's what 1,000% what I would do. And leave the squats and deadlifts and everything. You can try them if you want. I personally wouldn't do it. You're walking up a hill. I assume you're carrying shit. You're not just like in your skivvies and wearing barefoot shoes or anything like that. I would very much limit my lower body work. If I did, it would be very low volume. So I would probably maybe try to lift 2 or 3 times a week, and let your legs, let all that hiking up mountains, this 7 to 9 miles per day, take care of any leg work, because the last thing you want to do is having to do something in the weight room and being sore. That's just me. All right. And the older I get, I realize that. If, like I said, again, if you do, I want to squat or deadlift, man, I would not, any volume would be very low, maybe no more than 3 reps per set, and just watch the intensity. So that's what I would personally recommend. And again, this is just during the summer. You got the rest, you got the fall, the winter, and spring. You can train your squat and deadlift as hard as you want, and then let the summers, let that be your in season, so to speak. All right. So just for reference, when we train for the high school kids during the season, we just do one lower body movement, and that is the trap bar, and we usually keep the volume very low, and the intensity very low. We're just looking at good bar speed. So David Toomey says, hey Jim, just wondering your thoughts on some general standards most healthy men in their 40s should aim to keep as long as possible into later life. I don't know about this one, because everyone's going to have different limitations. I mean, I wish I could say bench, whatever, your body weight or something like that. But as an example, I can't bench. My shoulder's screwed, but I can do 1 million push-ups and stuff like that. But generally, this is what I would recommend, David, is have some kind of strength standard for yourself, for your lower body, something strength-wise. So that could be, as an example, squat, deadlift, trap bar, rack pull, something like that. Something for your lower body, and make it strength-oriented. And then something push-up, upper body push, and something upper body pull. So for example, that could be, let's say, the trap bar for the lower body, maybe bench press or whatever you can do, and maybe pull-ups. Try and always do that, and try to keep a standard, whether that's reps or if that's like a single or within a certain range. That's what I think you should do. And the other thing I think, David, is have some kind of conditioning thing that you want to maintain. And again, this doesn't need to be like running a marathon, but if you were, like, for example, David, if you are really into running and you always want to be able to run a certain a 5K in a certain time, this doesn't need to be your best, but like, listen, if I can maintain a 10-minute mile in my 5K, I think I'll be okay. It's not very hard to do. Or the other thing, David, is like, listen, until I'm dead, I'm going to try and do 3 conditioning style workouts a week. So that would be a consistency goal. So that's another thing I think that you could do. But again, try to, with your strength, some kind of lower body, some kind of upper body push, and some kind of upper body pull. So, anyway, Bill Coyne, he asked about the body weight. He said, makes sense. My dynamic effort squats were faster at 250 to 220, but no way I could squat 700 at that body weight. It's tough. One of the things I've talked about many times is my wife, when we were meeting, she always laughed because I said, everyone knows the thicker your waist, the better your squat is, and your squat, maybe not your deadlift. And she kind of got on me a little bit about that. And I'm like, telling you, that's one of the reasons why we train our abs and, obliques and lower back so much at Westside. But we always try to get this area as big, as thick as possible. And she kind of laughed at that, said, it's not going to help you even if you gain some fat. And then she got pregnant and her squat skyrocketed. The bigger her stomach got, the better her squat got. And she's like, oh my God, I feel so much better, so much tighter. And I'm like, yeah, that's one of the reasons. Now, obviously, you don't want to turn into a fat blob. But I can tell you without a doubt, if you've got some cushion in the middle, you're going to squat bigger, provided you're doing all the other stuff too. Some people just want to eat and think their squat's going to go up. That's not how it works. You got to train your ass off and train your abs and low back. So. Darren Kennedy, my good buddy from Ireland. Boy, I'll tell you what, Darren, I finally kind of read up on the Northern Ireland duel that has happened over the past God knows how long. Holy cow. There's a lot of things I wish I could talk to you about privately, but I won't say them here. Anyway, Darren says, happy Easter, Jim. Well, happy Easter, Darren. Hope you've got a good challenge planned for the weekend. I need to smash some prowler and kettlebell carries for a kilometer distance and total fun times. So here's one thing I did. I farted around. Is I did my 20-pound ruck and I carried two 70-pound kettlebells for a half mile. This was like last week. It did not go well. My back was a little jacked. The other thing I did, same thing, 20-pound ruck, and I carried a 53-pound kettlebell and just switched hands. I did that for a half mile just to see. Vincent talked about doing that. I think you have to do a mile. Oh, geez, it was harder than I thought it would be. I think it took me 7:45 to finish a half mile with all that stuff on. Another thing I'd like to do, Darren, and I'm just going to throw this number out, but you want to do a mile. Again, you can vary that so you can go half mile, quarter mile, whatever you want. And you have to have, carry on you, let's say 300 pounds. So let's pretend I have a 40-pound vest on. So then you would carry a 260-pound, trap bar or something. So the goal is to carry X amount of weight over a certain distance. And so I think what I'm going to do, because I'm the king of starting light, I will probably do something like 200 pounds for a half mile and just see how I feel. But I think it would be awesome if you do like a 300-pound mile. And again, you can vary however you want. Obviously you can wear a super heavy vest so you don't have to carry that heavy of a trap bar. Just something to think about. So I don't have any challenges just yet, but I got some ideas. I've been doing really well. The other thing I've been doing in the last 3 weeks is I've been doing fat bar deadlifts on Wednesday. And I just work up to something heavy, and boy, do I suck at fat bar deadlifts. I've gotten over just 300. That's about where I am, and that's double overhand. I saw some people doing mixed grip, fat grip deadlifts. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, I appreciate you, Darren. I love meeting you, man. You're a good dude. Zozo says, hey, Jim, what are some mobility essentials you'd recommend for a regular lifter 5 to 6 times per week? There's a couple things I always do. I always do hurdle duck unders. So you guys know what I'm talking about. And that really not only helps my hips, it helps my IT bands tremendously. The other thing is doing some kind of hip flexor stretch. People call it the couch stretch, but it's just a hip flexor stretch, and you kind of lift like you're doing a single leg squat or a Bulgarian one leg squat. So I think that really helps. Another thing that I really like to do is the mace stuff that really helps my upper body and shoulders. The pec stretch just in the doorway really helps me too. I'm trying to think of anything else that I did on the regular. But anything that, for me, my hips are my big downfall, so to speak. So anything I can do to kind of open those up, doing hurdle, and you bring your leg over a hurdle. I don't know what they're just, instead of hurdle unders, they're hurdle overs, and I have a very hard time with that. So, and the other thing is, honestly, like just sitting into a deep squat if you can, and just getting comfortable there. So I think that those few things for me have really helped. The more that I don't do a ton of them in the beginning. I don't spend like 30 minutes doing this. I just do a couple sets of hurdle duck unders. And if you really want to get good at the hurdle duck unders, I'll hold on to a dumbbell or kettlebell, even if it's like 30, 40. 53 is when I get really pushed low and it really opens up my hips. So it's a little awkward, but that's like a weighted stretch. And I think you could probably do that with a single leg Bulgarian squat. What's up, babe? She's completely nude right now. Here's James. Don't look at your nude mother. It's weird.
Oh, I can't get my sunglasses.
Go, just go.
No.
You're such a turd. All right, see, she doesn't even want to be nude. James is not nude. So, anyway. Ella Asti said, would you rather a new player on your team come in super fast or super strong already? Probably super fast, because that's genetics. We can always get you strong. Yeah, super fast. Then we just get you strong, and getting strong is super easy, especially at this age. And especially with our program. I'm going to tell you, I'm not like a better coach than anyone else. I just have the best support team. All right. And I think that really makes a huge difference. So, real quick, is everything solid with this so far? This live stream? Let me know. Okay. If someone just throw me a thumbs up. So, Bill Coyne says late stage pregnancy is the best time for women to hit a squat PR. My wife, we still have the video of it right before we went to the, she's having contractions. She went right to the weight room, and she always wanted to hit a pull up the same day that she gave birth. So we went over there. She did her pull up. Her shirt was riding up. Big old belly.
Hey there.
Well, you did have a child inside your uteri. She has 4 uteruses. Your guys are
Leave my uterus off your live stream.
So anyway, Mailman James says, might have missed earlier. Can I use Prilipin for accessory? I don't know what you mean by accessory. You can use it for supplemental, 100%. Yep, I wouldn't use it for assistance work though. What are you gonna do? Tricep pushdowns for 3 sets of 4 reps? No, you can use it for supplemental, barbell style training. So yes. He says, smoked myself on squats, 5 sets. What? And 5, 10 boring but big. Can cap the last set and just focus on boring but big sets? Yes. Yes, you can. What's going on, babe?
Nothing.
James, go get your shit for mom.
I don't know.
Oh boy.
You're retarded.
What do you got to get, ding dong? All right. Going balls out on both of the squat and deadlift seems to be more taxing. Yes, that's why, generally speaking, I recommend doing 5s pro or 3s pro, and if you're going to do boring but big. Yep, that's all in the Forever book. Emil says, hey, Jim, I've been experimenting with raw eggs and meat lately, experiencing great digestion and energy. Do you have any experience with that? I've eaten plenty of raw eggs in my shakes. Everyone did that. Anyone who's probably over 40 or 50 years old has drank a ton of raw eggs. Just put them in your protein drink. I think it tastes awesome. Cooking destroys some nutrients like creatine. I will not eat raw meat. Our ancestors were so blessed when they saw fire and cooked the meat. I will not do that. No way. Just fucking take creatine. Who cares? I'm not going to eat a piece of raw meat. You're bananas, Emil. No way. No way. I like cooking my steak and my burgers and shit. So, no way. But if that's what you want to do, eating raw chicken, raw meat, no way. So, Lynch says, hey, Jim, would Juliet ever do the Q&A with you? Nope. Not a chance. When I first met Juliet, I don't know, she was working with Elite FTS. She had her own training studio, all this other stuff. And I remember when we got together, I asked her some questions. She's like, I want to get out of this. She's I just want to be a mom. That's what she told me. So she helps me with all the business stuff, does all the stuff, the big stuff. But I didn't know where her head was at. It was crazy. I mean, she wanted to be a mom from the get-go. She's one of those, she's one of the toughest women I know. Her standards are super high, but man, that's why I think we work so well together. She's exactly what I wanted, and I'm exactly, mostly what she wanted. So But anyway, she said, Lynch says some of our incoming 8th graders are god awful at all movements. Would be curious how she handles that. Well, one is we don't know. I'm telling you, do not go bananas with the loading. They have to be proficient. So when you're teaching them the movements, don't worry about the bar weight. If it's just an empty bar, it's fine. They have to show proficiency with the movement. And number 2, you have to use other things to get them strong because you're obviously not doing anything that's a lot of the kids can't handle the loading. So we use a lot of body weight work. We used the stairs. If you have access to prowlers and sled, I think that's amazing. We dumbbell squats are amazing for them. If the kids can't do push-ups, which a lot of them can't, you can obviously do elevated push-ups, but we use a lot of dumbbell work, so it really forces them to slow down and kind of be in the moment, so to speak. We do a lot of rows and a lot of ab work, so we do dumbbell incline rows, so they're building that upper back. And we do some, she also does jumping, and it's not like crazy plyometrics, we're just teaching the kids how to jump. So I can say I understand what you're going through, Lynch. It's it can be a cluster F sometimes. So, but don't force the loading. You got to find other ways to get them strong if they can't do the movements that, in these movements, that's why the prowler and sled are so awesome. It's hard to screw those up, and it strengthens the body and the legs and all that stuff. So anyway, I hope that helps. How we doing here, everyone? We good? Kind of ran out of questions here. I know this was so if anyone has any more questions, let me know. Let me see if I got a whole bunch of stuff down here. Let's see. All right, I just got this. I had to order. This is the Gorgoroth CD called Twilight of the Idols in Conspiracy with Satan. Listen, everyone rips on this album. I think it's fucking good. I don't care. So, let's see what else. Ooh, I must. What is this here? I must have forgotten about this one. This is like an unboxing here. I think this is the Nails album. I haven't heard all of it yet. Yep, the new Nails. Every Bridge Burned. You know what I'm going to get? I'm going to get a speaker I can hook up to Bluetooth and iPod and all that shit for, and iPad. But I am getting a portable CD player, so I can just jam CDs because, man, the Bluetooth starts driving me bananas. So anyway, so I'm going old school, getting a big old speaker, running that, just jamming CDs like God intended to. So. What's the best short story written in English? Oh, I don't know. I have no idea about that. How about Call of Cthulhu? Just to honor our good friend Howard, Mr. Howard Lovecraft. You know who writes really good short stories too? And I guess it depends on what your version of a short story is. Stephen King has done some amazing stuff. I remember reading Apt Pupil when I was in high school and just being like, oh my God. If you remember that, I actually had the Richard Bachman version, the green, had a green cover, sun on there. The sun wasn't green, and that was back when, that was obviously Rita Hayworth was in there, the Shawshank Redemption. So I think, I'm sure, like, James Joyce wrote something. I cannot stand James Joyce. I'm sorry, everyone thinks that's the greatest story book ever written. Just not my thing. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. Listen, I'm no literary genius. Let's put it that way. I like what I like. So, Heavyweight says, "Do you like Metallica's latest album, 72 Seasons?" I've never heard it. I love Metallica. It's a huge part of my growing up. I'll be honest, I haven't gotten anything after And Justice for All. And I think one of Metallica's greatest strengths is they do awesome covers. So if anyone remembers back in the first album with Jason Newsted was the Garage Days Revisited, right? The 5-song EP for $7.98 or something. Yeah, I had the tape of it. I think there's not a bad song on that album, and they do a great job. And obviously they've done a lot of Oh my God, what's the name of that band? You know, did Am I Evil and Bread Fan and stuff. I can't think of the name right now. But Am I Evil? I mean, they did it a justice and stuff. Anyway, all right. Bill is seeing Nails on Monday. You know the best part about Nails that I have never seen them, but I love when Todd Jones they start the concert. At least what I saw on YouTube, they just let the feedback go, and Todd Jones just yells out, "We're fucking Nails," and they just go and rip in. So I do miss the other two guys in the band. I'll be honest. I love that drummer and I love that bassist energy. It was amazing. So, but listen, they got to move on. They got to do other stuff. So that's awesome to see that Todd Jones is still sending it, so to speak. Lynch says, "Thanks, Jim. I remember when she did the Q&A on Elite FTS. Yep. Also, Down is recording a new album. I think I heard that from Jimmy Bauer. So we will see. We will see. It's hard for them to write a crappy song, I'll be honest. Obviously, not everything's a winner. But those guys, there's a magic with those dudes. There really is. Unbelievable magic. Steven says, "Any tips for curing elbow tendonitis? I get a sharp pain in my right elbow when I lock out bench dips, lying tricep extensions." So I had horrible elbow pain from doing all kinds of extensions. I mean, horrible. I couldn't even squat anymore. My tips, Steven, is one, stop doing anything that aggravates it. And I would stop doing that for however long it takes to feel better, plus a week or two. So as an example, let's say after 2 weeks, your elbows feel good, wait another week. It has been my experience that when you have joint pain, rest works really well. When you have muscle pain, some activity works very well. In general, it doesn't always work out like that. So what I would do is just knock out anything that's aggravating it, let it heal, let it feel better, and then I would add in like the bench press first. Usually that's not a big aggravator. The other thing is, I don't know if you squat with a straight bar, you may have to, the wider you put your arms and hands, obviously, the better off your elbows are going to feel. We've noticed that too. So I hope that helps. That sucks, man. I hated having that. JB Hicks says, "Is it better to hit the main lifts, such as bench press, overhead press, squats, and deadlifts once a week, or should there be more frequency on those lifts?" Some people claim like you got to squat, 5 times a week or whatever it is, and other people they're benching 5 times a week. Listen, I don't subscribe that there's anything better or worse or anything like that, JB. I will say this till the day I die. If you do everything and work your ass off, things will get better. All right. And the way that we do stuff at London, everyone's bench gets better, everyone's squat gets better, everyone's trap bar gets better, and we do those lifts once a week. Now we're doing a lot of assistance work too. We train the crap out of our assistants, so that has to be factored in. And obviously the kids are young, so that obviously they make that makes a big difference. But JB, I'm telling you, if you want to bench press more times a week and do that, fine, go do it. If you believe in it and you're going to give it effort and you're going to be consistent, just about anything with some common sense works. But I do not believe you need to do this X amount of weeks, per week and this and that. I don't do it at all. If that was the case, I would have never squatted 1,000 pounds. Never. And that means I just got completely lucky. Or I have the greatest genetics ever. I would have never benched 675. Never. Could never happen. So it's a bunch of crap. Consistency, effort, do all the little shit away from the weight room, train hard, don't be an idiot, and you're going to be fine, JB. That's what I call splitting pubes. I don't think it matters. I've seen dudes do amazing stuff training twice a week because they have a crappy schedule. According to the experts, they should have never gotten stronger, but they fucking worked and they did what they had to do. Alex says, Alex, good to see you, buddy. Morning. I hope you and the family have a great long weekend. Yeah, James has Friday off. It was crazy. So obviously today. So we got to sleep in a little bit, which was fun. Have you heard Ulcerate's newest record? No, I have not. At least I don't think I have. I have like 3 of their albums. I gotta be in the mood to hear Ulcerate. I totally like. I love the dissonance and I love the insanity. But it's sometimes I don't know if this makes sense, Alex. I like my dissonance and craziness Portal style. I mean, just Ulcerate sounds like they're going bananas, but there's like a method to the madness. With Portal, it just sounds like somehow they got everything right. It's like you're just throwing everything up in the air, and occasionally they all hit at the same time. I love that, and I wish Portal would return to their old recording technique where they like recorded in a cave. To me, that sounds exactly what I want. But Ulcerate, bananas. It's the same thing with like Death Spell, Omega. Holy cow. They're operating on another level musically and everywhere else. So, but I will check it out, Alex. I appreciate you. Steven says, but he had the elbow issues. He says the hardest thing about it is giving up exercises that I absolutely love. Is such a hard thing. Well, listen, Steven, give it up for 4 weeks or you're going to give it up for life. That's the best way to say it. You got to make a few sacrifices now. Not a big deal. Just fucking go do something else that's awesome. All right? So if you can't bench, get your squats and deadlifts in, and then, do something ridiculous with your legs. During this 4 weeks, do a quarter mile of lunges every single day. So then the hardest thing is going to be doing the lunges, not that you can't bench press. Do something stupid and awesome. Quit trying to, always color within the lines of the experts. So Joshua says, happy Friday, Jim. I just finished my first month of Fire 3-1 and I love the program. Tips on how to break through a deadlift plateau. I'm at 470 and the goal is 500. Here are my tips. 1, lower the training max. Don't get overzealous with that at all. I would not go over 80% if I'm going to be completely honest. Number 2, you better be training your upper back. And the best thing by far is raising up your one-arm dumbbell row. And I've said this before, Joshua, if you can't do half your body weight for 20 reps without straps, you're not strong enough to get to where you need to be. That's the bare minimum. 35 reps obviously would be better. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be able to do a one-arm row with each arm for 35 reps with 100 pounds. Bar none. That's how you get that strong lockout and strong grip. The other thing is, I assume you're training your abs and low back. Obviously, back extensions or 45-degree back raises weighted. That's part of it. And obviously, ab work, hanging leg raises, bringing your feet all the way up to the bar, ab wheel, weighted sit-ups with a weight behind your head done on a glute ham raise or something like that, or a Roman chair. Huge. And the other thing is make sure your legs are super strong. And I always recommend what I call dumb leg work. So you got to train your legs in such a way with such an exercise that all you have to do is worry about the legs. The best things are probably the leg press or the hack squat or the elite FTS power squat. That's what I did. You got to build those legs. And the easiest way to do it is do it just super high reps, between 10 and 30 to 40 reps. Just get those legs stupid strong. I think that when you have stupid strong legs and lungs, a lot of good things happen, but you got to get all the assistance. So lower the training max, upper back with the rows, abs and low back, make your legs strong. And don't get crazy on the training max. I'm telling you. I am telling you. That's when when your ego is going to take a big dump on you real quick. Don't be overzealous with the training max. So, all right, Jonathan. This weekend is my taper before my half marathon Murph Walrus next week. Oh, for my 40th. Okay. 20 rounds of 1 kilometer, 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 lunges per legs. Finish with a 1.1. Wow. Oh my God. Jonathan, good luck, buddy. You're nuts. Feeling prepared. Thanks for all you do. Have a great... Yeah, well, first of all, Jonathan, congratulations on living to 40. So, first of all, awesome to get older. People lament that. Fuck that. Let's be happy we're older. A lot of people have died well before their 40th birthday. They wish they could have this opportunity. Second of all, congratulations on the absolutely stupid challenge. That looks dumber and shit, and I love it. And number 3, When you're going through it and things suck, it's a good thing. It's a great thing. Embrace the shittiness. It's fine. All right. So good luck, man. Oh, your legs are going to be sore. Whew. Carlos D says, thanks for all you do. When training in season and off-season athletes under one session, what's the biggest adjustments you would make? Example, track, basketball, football in one class 4 days a week. The biggest adjustments I would make would be to the main lift and obviously the assistants. So you could easily train it in season and off season. So let's say we got a kid who is off season. He's a football player. His squat would be for whatever we have planned for that day, and then the in season, let's say basketball or wrestler, would then we would adjust his intensity and his volume, so he would do much less, but he would still be able to squat with that kid. He just would do much less, so he might do just sets of 3 all the way up to his top set, and that's it. So that's number one. Number two is their assistants would be, I would do no lower body work for their assistants during the season. That's just what I've seen to work. So all their assistants would be upper body, probably no more than 3 to 5 sets of upper body push, upper body pull. And I think then the kids are going to do that. The off-season kids are going to do that anyway, but they might do some lower body assistance work that day too. So yeah, that's what I would do. That's what we do with the in-season kids that are in track or baseball that can come up to lift. The kids might be doing a PR set on the squat. Those kids, we're just going to go up to 5 reps on your top set. You're going to be good to go. So super easy to do. Just limit it. Just keep the bar speed awesome for those kids, for the in-season kids, and then keep the upper body kind of stimulus with the higher rep assistance work. So anyway. Steelers fan says, any advice for a high school program that has had its participation decline in the weight room? My advice is that head coach needs to step up and put the screws to those kids. That's just the way it goes. There's no way around it. I'm sorry, but the head coach, just like the head of a company, is the driving force for everything. And it is his leadership that gets people in and out of a program. It's his leadership that establishes the standard. And I can tell you that it sucks keeping the standard high because it requires constant maintenance. It may take 10 years to build a program. It will take 1 year for it to take a dump just by letting things slide. So it's a constant tending to, so to speak. So that head coach, the head sports coach or whatever, needs to be responsible for that. All right. He is the leader. He is the general, so to speak, and he needs to figure out a way. The other thing I would do, Steelers fan, is the kids that do show up, make sure that you pay them attention and give them the time that they're giving you. After each session, I always thank the kids for their effort and their consistency because it makes my job much easier and it shows me some respect too. So I always say thank you. It's an honor to be able to work with them. So there's nothing really you can do, I don't think. I mean, unless you're doing stupid shit in the weight room and the kids don't want to be there. But at the end of the day, the buck starts and stops with the head coach. That's just no way around that. Without a solid head coach, I don't think anything gets done at London, and that's all Kyle. So, Knock says, Penley row's bad? I took bent over row out because of lower back fatigue from deadlifts and squats. No, they're not bad. Nope. So, but if you feel that the bent over row is compromising your lower back for squats and deadlifts, then for you right now, the bent over row is not good. But that doesn't mean you can't throw them in at certain points. So, yeah. I don't think they're bad. They're just not every lift is applicable for every situation. For example, we don't squat during the season. Squats are an awesome exercise, but it's not a good thing for where the kids are at that time and day. So, recommendations for a high school strength and conditioning coach that has kids that do not want to work out game or meet day or day prior. Tips to impact coaches telling them not to lift. Tips to impact coaches. I don't know, Carlos. I'll be honest, dude. Not gonna fight people. If kids don't want to lift and they have a shitty attitude, like that's on them. I try to be as open and accommodating to the kids. But I'm not going to fucking get on my knees and beg a kid to give effort. Either he comes in and gives effort or not. Listen, I'm not going to, cuck for some kid because his attitude's shitty. If he comes back and wants to work, by all means, come in. And there's no reason these kids are not there. I tell them, you're not, if we're lifting, I'm like, you guys will be fine. You guys are in great shape. I'm not going to kill you. The kids understand that. And if you promise the kids that you're going to be fine, and if you have that trust, that's fine. But I'll be honest, Carlos, I just don't, that's a battle that's ridiculous to me to fight. We got so many kids in the weight room who are willing to give so much effort. And now I got one ding dong over there who's fucking everything up. It's just, to me, it's not worth it. It's draining your energy. That kid is what I call an energy vampire. He's an attitude vampire. He's going to bring everyone else down. I just don't have time for that, man. We have a standard. We have, dozens of kids who are willing to work towards that standard. I'm going to worry about them and let the kids get left behind. They're going to probably see their other kids, a lot of the other kids start to pull forward, and they're going to get their ass either in shape or they're going to leave. That's just the way it goes. Maybe that's bad. I know a lot of people got upset that I'm, what do you want me to do though? What do you want me to do? You want me to fucking lift for them? You want me to beg them? It's ridiculous. The kids got to learn too, Not everything's going to be given to them. I'm sorry. That's what I say. This is Lynch says, what also helps get the kids in the weight room is when your freshmen and sophomores outlift. Yep, and outperform the upperclassmen on a test day. That's exactly right. We don't have that issue because we have everyone's been part of the program for so long. But even then, a lot of kids aren't going to get in line. And there's not much you can do. Just always be positive. Work with those kids. You don't have to be mean to the kids that have the crappy attitude. But it's not worth your time. If they're not going to give you effort, then I got kids who won't follow their numbers on a sheet. I just won't print them a sheet anymore. And then when they ask, I'm like, well, you never followed it anyway. Why would I write you a sheet if you don't do anything that's on there? And I just, all right, for the next 4 weeks, you do whatever you want until you can show that you can actually do something that's correct. Maybe I'm not trying to be a hard ass, but listen, I'm volunteering my time, and you have to work to a standard. That's all there is. Asking someone to do what you ask them is not, and it's not like you're asking them to go through buds before, every day before practice or a game. Please, man. Listen, I'm not one of those guys who think the world's everyone's being a big wimp, but asking kids to actually give an effort for 30 minutes, and we all know it's not like they're doing 20 rep squats and pushing a prowler up a hill. So anyway, sorry. I don't really have any good rec because I just don't deal with that crap. It's just not worth it. So now if a kid changes his tune, I've had plenty of kids come in, be a problem, leave, and then they come in a year or two later, completely different maturity level. Let's fucking go. I will be 1,000% in your corner. So Lynch says, we call the energy vampires Colin Robinsons. Don't know who Colin Robinson is, though. So, but I don't know. Who knows? I assume an athlete who's got a shitty attitude or something. Who knows? Who knows? The crazy thing is, you see how important having a small group of kids is that really fuel the entire attitude and energy of a weight room. Conversely, you can see how just a few kids who are cancers can really affect the group. It's unbelievable. So, I always ask some of our older kids, I said, listen, you're going to have to do this and this. And I love seeing the positive effects of a few kids doing things. And what I did one day during the Prowler is, we were doing an insane Prowler workout, and I looked at one of the couple leaders. I said, listen, you got to go low handles. I want you to go low handles right now. I will adjust the rest times for you, but I want to see how quick everyone else does the low handles. So he turned his Prowler around. I didn't say a word. and he's out. His group is pushing the prowler on the low handles, and we probably did 4 or 5 pushes, and everyone, I look around, everyone's on the low handles, because that is the positive, positive kind of cancer. That's the best thing, but it goes both ways. So, woo! Listen, I'm not like a hard ass with this stuff. I just listen. Kid don't want to work. What do you want me to do? All right, you want me to take a pacifier and change his diaper? Screw that shit. All right, anyone else? Woo, woo, woo. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do today, but I know I'm going to walk a little bit with the old vest of doom, or the ruck of doom. Maybe some, who knows. So, Mailman James says, how often should I cycle 5-3-1 formats? Been enjoying boring but big for the last 3 cycles. Should I switch to something else for a cycle? If it's still working, Mailman James, go for it. If it's still, you don't have to change just to change, but generally speaking, if you're really trying to write everything down kind of thing, I'd say probably every 2 to 3 cycles you can change a couple things. It doesn't have to be an overall change. So generally speaking, if we're going to do something a little more intense, we may do 3 weeks or 6 weeks. That's usually how long our cycles last. And then we'll move on to something else. So just if you do change, Mailman, just make sure you're prepared for the change. For example, when we do our higher volume squatting at the school, we don't start with that. We ease them into that so that the body develops and builds up over time, and then we do the higher volume stuff. So just so you know. But yeah, if it's working and you love to do it and you love training, man, go for it. The other thing you can do is, if you're enjoying boring but big, just change the 5 sets of 10 movement. So for example, instead of overhead press, you can do incline press. Instead of the bench press, you can use a different barbell, like the football bar, or you can use a close grip, or you can do dips with 20-pound vest or something like that for your 50 reps. Instead of squats, you can do front squats, box squats, safety squat, bar squats, something like that. And instead of deadlifts, you can do good mornings. You can do deficit pulls, straight leg deadlifts, stuff like that. So you can always switch up the movements. And so that's what I would do if you love the boring but big stuff. And the other thing you can do too is, like, let's say you want to keep the bench press in from now on. During the 5 sets of 10 of the bench press, you got to do 10 pull-ups in between every set, and you got a time limit. You got to get that done in 20 minutes. So 5 sets of 10 of whatever your bench press weight is, and 5 sets of 10 on the pull-ups. You can do the same thing, for example, with a squat. You do your squat sets, but you also got to do sets of 15 on dips or something in between every set. Now you've got a same basic thing, but now you're doing something a little different, a little more kick-ass. Who knows, man? Don't be afraid to start pushing some of the stuff. It doesn't have to be for every lift or every day. Maybe just do one upper body and one lower body lift like that, and keep the other stuff the same. But man, be creative. Right? So you can do the same thing and start altering things all the time. So essentially, that's what we do at London. We have the 5-3-1 program. What we do on each day or each week is going to vary, but the basics stay the same. We squat on Monday, bench on Wednesday, trap bar on Friday. We try to make our bar speed awesome, push the assistance, we run, we jump. That's it. That simple. There we go. All right, anything else here? Woo! I hope I can figure out how to do this again. So are we still okay with the video and the audio and everything? I'm not buffering, as they say. So, all right. I think we're gonna get going here because I think I've been here about an hour. I don't know how many. I can't tell. Yeah. Holy cow! Look at that, an hour. So, thank you, Sourcastic. Perfect. Thank you. Look at those. Can't wait to go to the pool this year. My new physique. Carlos D says glute ham raises or reverse hyper for a home gym, but you only have room for one. Which do you choose? I choose the glute ham raise as long as it's got the dong part cut out. Cut out that little dong so your junk. That way you can do back raises, glute ham raises. You can do ab work on there, 100%, 1000%. So that's what I would recommend. So, boo. All right, anyone else? I appreciate. Thank you guys, the ones that stuck. I appreciate you for getting back on. I'm gonna try and see if I can figure this out again. Love you guys. Have a great Easter. Easter, as always. If you're gonna do something awesome, conditioning wise, go ahead and do it this weekend. Challenge yourself. Do it with friends, family. If you got kids, go ahead. And we got one more question here. Hi Jim, any just do this templates you can point to in the Forever book for a 30-year-old female to use trying to get my wife into training? Assume access to dumbbells, barbell, full rack, air dyer. Thanks. All right, so this is what I would do. I would train 3 days a week. I would do bench, deadlift, and squat 3 days a week. I would use the press as an assistance exercise. I would just the first 4 or 6 weeks, I would learn the movements. I wouldn't worry about loading them right away. I would do 2 to 3 assistance movements. She gets to choose if she wants to do some like butt stuff or whatever girls like to do, but do some upper body, some full body style stuff. She's doing lower body, upper body push, upper body pull, and just be creative with that stuff. But one main lift a day. Teach the lift first. Again, the press would be done as assistance work, not as a main lift. I cannot stress that enough. I never do that. So there's not really, the template is just main lift, 3 assistance lifts. That's it. And be creative as you want on the assistance lift. The main lift, we're just teaching, we're teaching. That's all we're doing. Making sure things are solid. You don't have to get aggressive with the loading. 1000%, that's what I do. If you want, you can go, the first weeks, go squat, bench, deadlift, bench, squat, bench. So you're alternating upper and lower body stuff. You can try that if you want. I would definitely add in the dumbbell squat with there. I mean, girls love like the hip thrust. I think for their booties, they can do lunges. But the goal is to, again, teach the lifts, teach them how to do the assistance lifts, and just build some muscle. The more muscle that she gains, the better she's going to be and the stronger she's going to be, not just the weight on the bar. So, anyway, all right, thank you. I hope that helps. Where trees meet the freeway reminds me of the band Clinging to the Trees of a Forest Fire. Maybe some of you guys remember that band. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I will see you hopefully soon. Bye-bye.